What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to this video, which is a satire making fun of Donald Trump's war with Iran. And I'm actually hoping that this'll kind of be therapeutic for me because, like a lot of Americans right now, we are really not happy with what Trump is doing, dragging us into this pointless war with Iran and raising gas prices, and inflation is going up and destroying our international reputation, by the way. So, this is a funny video here called Trump's Great Victory in Iran. Yeah, that's definitely how he would say it. And this is by Larry and Paul. So, let's take a look.
Well, every year we celebrate victory in Europe. Now we're celebrating victory against jihadism. Never mind VE Day, America and its allies are celebrating Vag Day after a definite, total, complete and legitimate triumph in the Middle East.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's not even a joke. Like, here in the United States, Donald Trump literally would tell you that the military conflict in Iran is going great. That it's great, exactly according to plan. That's literally what he would say. So, yeah, it's pretty mind-boggling.
President Trump has declared victory over Iran in a war that he insisted wasn't a war but is repeatedly described as a war. Our reporter has war on the moor.
Yeah.
More on the war.
Okay.
Thank you, Danny. Yes, as you saw, many warned that they saw this war as a warm-up for ever more forever wars. But it's clear President Trump has put...
Whatever he just said, that made me crack up a little bit. Forevermore, evermore, or something. Yeah, pretty much. It definitely, it makes a lot of Americans think, is this just the beginning of the next, we have 2.5 more years of Donald Trump. And I think one of the most frustrating things about this for a lot of people, even people who voted for Donald Trump, by the way, he literally campaigned on not starting new wars. That's literally one of his selling points when he was running for president again. And what does he do when he is reelected? I don't think anybody should be that shocked, but at the same time, you can't help but be kind of astonished that he's going literally the opposite of what he campaigned for. No more wars. Literally started a new war. It only took 1 year. So this funny satire video here, I guess that's kind of the point. It's funny because it's so true.
Many warned that they saw this war as a warm-up for ever more forever wars. But it's clear President Trump has put all his significant brainpower into a staggering strategic victory in the Middle East. Now, the USA has said it will stop even starting to think about preparing to draft a plan to consider bombing energy sites in Iran. It's after President Trump said he's winning at talks, despite the other side not being in those talks or even knowing those talks were happening.
Oh my God, this is so accurate, and it's frustrating. And it's, oh my God, yeah. So it's becoming pretty much a running joke that the United States is in negotiations with Iran, which so far has started, then stopped, started, then stopped. And it, basically, from what I understand, it's the United States calls for a ceasefire and makes a list of demands from Iran, and Iran just says no, and the United States and Donald Trump basically has to say, well, we're extending the negotiations. We're extending the ceasefire. Yeah, talks are continuing, and then they make more demands from Iran, who has like the ultimate leverage at this point, it seems, in the form of the Strait of Hormuz, and controlling that, and causing the price of gas here in the United States to go sky high, and probably other parts of the world as well, feeling that. And so at this point, you really get the sense, at least here in the US, that Donald Trump is becoming desperate to end this war, really by any means. Like, his popularity is tanking, the US economy is suffering, midterms are going to be a disaster. This entire military project, this strategic Iran, we're going to stop them from making nuclear bombs or something. That's what the government told us. And so this was very, very important, but it's just been a huge disaster. And I think even Donald Trump is starting to realize that. And so it sounds like negotiations are supposedly ongoing and coming to it, but they've been ongoing for like weeks. Like, yeah, this you can't make this up.
The president says that actually makes it easier to win at talks if the other side doesn't know that they're talking. But rest assured, this is a stunning victory for the USA. Some would say a famous victory. Like that time Joe Frazier beat Muhammad Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle by strategically lying down unconscious in the ring and going blind.
Yeah. Amazing victory. This will be talked about in history books for years. Donald Trump would actually love to hear that. I bet if he watched this, he wouldn't even be able to tell that this is a satire, making fun of him. He'd probably be like, thank you. Yes, this is a legendary victory.
Or when the Lehman Brothers handed everyone's financial security and peace of mind a big win in 2008 by strategically going bust. Or when the Nazis won World War II by strategically dismantling its army before Hitler outfoxed everyone by strategically shooting his girlfriend, his dog, and then himself.
A great victory.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's funny and graphic, and yeah, this is good. Yeah, somehow Trump is like calling literally the biggest fail, like, in recent US military history, like somehow trying to twist it into being a victory. Yeah, that absolutely true. Comparisons there.
Indeed. Meanwhile, Fecal, in relation to potential future conflicts, we understand there's a request from the US administration for Sir Keir Starmer to sit in the corner like a good little fuckboy while Donald gives Mrs. Starmer a jolly good seeing to. What can you tell us?
Okay. Wow. They're really going there. All I'll say about that is that it's definitely true that Donald Trump has met, I mean, most other world leaders, except from like China, ironically, with a lot of hostility, disdain, criticism, insults. I know like a month or two ago, Donald Trump was mad, very upset with the UK and Keir Starmer for not like sending enough ships or backup into our war that we started for no reason with Iran. So that just goes to show you where he's at. Yeah.
About that.
That's right, Danny. While all eyes in the international community are on the Strait of Hormuz.
I think it's the Strait of
Hang on, is it the Strait of Hormuz? Hormuz? Is it like vermouth? The shipping lanes around Iran.
Yeah.
That's funny to me. particularly because I have literally thought like, am I pronouncing this frickin' strait correctly? Strait of Hormuz, I think. But I guess everybody at some point is kind of like, what is it called? Like, how do you pronounce it? Or especially if you're like on the news or somebody like official talking about it, like you almost don't want to even say it, like, because you might mess up the name. So it's like, yeah, shipping channels by Iran. Yeah, and that stuff.
Well, while all eyes are on those, we understand that request is currently being considered by Number 10. Indeed, British newspapers are already saying that if the Prime Minister doesn't plop himself on the old cup chair and watch while the orange jabber heaves his throbbing acorn into Mrs. Starmer, that means Sir Keir is weak and hates Britain.
What? Okay, I think maybe I'm like a little out of touch with this part. What do you want him to do? What? That mean what? That means what? Oh my. Okay. Did he just say what I think he said?
Back to you.
Thank you. Well, in response, Reform leader Nigel Farage.
This freaking picture. This this freaking picture that they have right there of Trump. Oh my God. What is that from? Is that from like Epstein Island or something?
Well, in response, Reform leader Nigel Farage has released a statement. It says, America is our great ally. If I were Prime Minister, not only would I be fine with looking on while Mrs. Farage is thundered into by such a tangerine titan, but I'm also happy to position myself between Mrs. Farage and Mr. Trump while he takes me and her down to Pound Town, USA, should he so wish.
So, oh my God, that's graphic. I don't know about this whole part. This really this is edgy, and comedy is supposed to be edgy, but oh my God. Obviously, I would say with certainly something like this, it is a good thing. I know not everybody in the UK is like totally happy with the leadership or Keir Starmer or stuff like that. I don't know a ton about that, but that's the general sentiment I've gotten. But certainly people are happy when Keir Starmer defies Donald Trump and doesn't listen about stupid requests about a pointless war or dragging the UK into that. Or certainly that's something that people would like, I would think.
Also, any chance I could suck off a dog? Disgusting. What a lovely story. That's all from Broken News. You're up to date.
What on earth did I just watch? That was funny. That was mostly funny. And a lot of it was very topical, very relevant, very true. Which most satire, that satire and comedy is at its strongest when there's such a strong grain of truth to it. You don't even have to like make it up. That's the crazy thing. Like these jokes, they write themselves because it's so outrageous and preposterous what's going on. That's a big takeaway from this. Like, reality right now, especially in the United States, it's a joke. So yeah, it makes sense that people around the world are making like videos making fun of us and Donald Trump, and I'd say we deserve it, frankly. And hopefully, on a more serious note, I know right now there actually are, like, they were hoping that Iran was going to sign like a formal peace deal, like to end this conflict, or that we started, but the United States is having to make like all these concessions. Basically, we started this war with Iran, and we are getting absolutely nothing out of it. We are begging for it to stop. Donald Trump is begging for it to stop, and we're probably going to end up in a much worse position than when we started, with nothing having been gained. So this whole thing is a disaster, and yeah, that's I can't say that strongly enough. And so yeah, watching this kind of helps me cope. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like. or leave a comment with your thoughts on this funny satire about Trump in the U.S. war with Iran and how things are going. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.